dari batu bara. Tapi kita juga memiliki ke depan yang terus akan kita dorong untuk energi baru terbarukan, baik itu geothermal, baik itu matahari, baik itu angin, baik itu air. Saya kira ini yang akan terus kita kembangkan karena potensi itu jelas ada dan sangat besar. Misalnya kayak
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Standing in front of you, I am as the moderator. My name is Lailatul Mufaiza. I'm going to lead an open public discussion in our school MI Muslimat NU Pucang, Sidoarjo. And I'm going to read some agenda. The first agenda that is presentation by some speakers. The second session that is question and answer, and the third that is closing. And now let's open our open public discussion by reciting basmalah together. Now I'm going to introduce you the speakers. In my right side I have Mem Cici, Mem Sally, Mem Amil, Mem Baiti, Mem Nova, and my left side I have Mem Okta, Mem Aunun, Mem Sophie, and the last is Mem Tia. And all of them are the third grade teachers. So here I'm going to call one by one. The topic of this discussion is about the new energy for our society, mostly in Indonesia. For the first speaker, I'm going to call Mem Cici to tell about what is energy. For Mem Cici, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you for the time. For the first, I will explain about what is the energy. Now, the energy is the source was obtained from the chemical or physical resource, which is for sustainable mental or physical activity. And then the kinds of energy there are two. The first is non-renewable and the renewable energy. Non-renewable is we can take from the forceful crude oil and natural gas that is taken that it came from millions of years and will turn out someday. If the people use that source, the people must be free. And then the renewable energy, the source from the water, wind, heat, and plant. And we can find this source in our daily life, and we can find this source easily in our daily life. So the people, if use this energy without spending the money.
Thank you. For the second presenter, I'm going to call Mem Tia to explain you about the strength and weakness and energy that has been used by us exactly in such as PLN. Thank you, Mem Tia.
Okay, thank you. I will explain about the strength and weakness of PLN. The weakness of PLN is more focused on increasing electricity from government and not get the intention for quality of service and transmission. And then the strength of PLN have two types of electricity bill. The first is prepaid electricity bill, and the second is postpaid electricity bill. The prepaid of electricity bill have more advantage. Namely, is have more control by using electricity, and then no customer service. There is no limit in compromise and not manifest. There is no limit to the active period. I think
Thank you. And for the third presenter, I'm going to call Ma'am Amil to explain us about the need to have alternative energy. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for the chance. The first, I will explain about the importance of renewable energy in Indonesia. Indonesia has had the potential of renewable energy, such as wind, water, waste, and sun. But the use of the renewable energy in Indonesia is still low. So needed to increase in the research about the renewable energy resource and study activity. The potential of renewable energy in Indonesia is so many. The example is sun, wind, water, and waste. But the problem arises from their use. The reason is the lack of the human resource, technology, and different geographical in location on energy supply. Thank you.
Okay. For the next presenter, I'm going to call Ma'am Baiti to explain us about alternative energy that can be developed in Indonesia.
Okay, thank you for the chance. I will explain about the alternative energy can develop in Indonesia. Based on Ma'am Amin said, in Indonesia is very many renewable energy. I will explain for the first from geothermal. Geothermal is a heat energy that produced and stored inside the earth. There are three ways from geothermal to use or create the energy. For the first, we can use the geothermal as a power plant, and the second, we can use as a source a heat directly by pipes, and the third, we can use the heat to pump from the bowel from the earth. And the next, there is the sun, like in the earth, and we can get the energy from the sunlight. We can collect the sunlight from the sun, and not all points in the world can get the sunlight. Usually, we can charge the energy from the sunlight, like solar panel, and then we can use it at the night when there is no sunlight again. And the third, there is a wind. The wind is a movement of the air. If you want to get energy from the wind, usually we can use the wind turbine. The wind turbine will change to the kinetic energy and become electricity energy. And beside that, there is a water. For the water, same as the wind, we must use the turbine for get the energy. For the for the water turbine can get the energy from many reservoirs that come from the total of the water, the higher of the water, and the velocity of the water. And the next is biomass. Biomass can create the fuel from the waste of the human or animals. There are three kinds of the biomass. There is a liquid, solid, and gas. And now I will explain about the liquid. The liquid from the liquid Actually, the energy can get from the bioalcohol, ethanol, methanol, or biodiesel. For bioalcohol, we can get the energy from the waste of corn, from the waste of sugarcane or grass. And for biodiesel, we can use the energy from the palm plants. We can use the palm plants to produce the palm oil. And the last is biogas. For biogas, we can easy to create or to produce the energy from the factory waste. For example, from the paper production, from the sugar production, or the waste of animal. But we must change that to be liquid first, and then we can fermentation, and we can waiting until produce the methane gas. Thank you for me.
Thank you. For the next presenter, I'm going to call Ma'am Sophie to explain us about the reason why alternative energy hasn't been optimized by our country. Thank you, Ma'am Sophie.
Okay, thank you for the time. So here I'm going to explain about the problem in Indonesia. We all know that the main fuel that we use nowadays is fossil fuels. That we know it also will run out someday. For just now, the state electricity company, or we call it PLN, admit that they have the decline of gas and oil to control the generator turbine for electricity necessary. This becomes the problems because they use the fossil fuels as the main fuel for the turbine electricity. And also the next obstacle in Indonesia for renewable energy is the weakness of technology and innovation research. From the human resources, we can see that it's still on decline rate because we can see that there are very limited discovery and very limited utilization of energy research. Also, the fact proves that the independence of science and technology in this country is still considered in the far from expectation. Independence innovations are actually can be carried out by engineering or by scientists and academic, but they are still not able to be a lever factor in independence of science, and they are still experiencing obstacles. And then some problem next is there are many community in Indonesia that they still don't know that the renewable energy can be the good choice for Indonesia. For example, there are social barrier of rejection from society. Many people think that geothermal power plants or LTP will damage the earth, but actually the LTP actually protects the nature's surroundings. Also, the next problem are related to infestation. We all know that renewable energy are actually cheap, but the government is still lack of infestation. We lack all the money that we can get, that we can use for the innovation of technology. Okay, that's it.
Thank you. Now we are going to mark our concern toward our government. Here I call Ma'am Almo to explain us about what and how important the role of government in optimizing the alternative energy. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for the chance. I'll try to look from the government side and continue from the MEMS office statement. That we know Indonesia is one of the countries that have the highest growth rate to consume energy in the world. And for renewable energy, in this case, the government take the attention or pay attention about this, proven based on the government regulation number 79 in 2014, said about the fossil based on the energy such as solar or coal are minimized. And for the example, in the Jokowi era, there are many steps to increase step by step to build the renewable energy. For the example, there are 45 megawatt from the from the wind power plant in the Makassar that have been built by the government, but until now there are still many obstacles, there are still many problems, especially when the rainy season. So from this case, it is shown that if renewable energy cannot directly apply in the large quantities. So the focus of the government for the renewable energy is to reduce the cost of the price of the electricity, not to change the fossil energy in Indonesia. Thank you.
Okay, now for an education for society, so that we as society of Indonesia, we can help to support government's role in alternative energy. I'm going to call Memova to explain us.
Okay. Education of communities in order to develop alternative energy. Actually, some of us, we know, we see, we have that around us many alternative energy sources that can be used for our life. For example, sunlight, wind, utilization of methane gas from organic waste, and impurities in the form of biomass, plant oils, and more. But some of us think we need much money, we need much time and other, but don't think like that. Of course, that takes no small price to make or to build alternative energy source processing facilities, but we must think about the future. Moreover, we as a teacher, we must have or we must be uswatun hasanah for our student, for our family, or for whoever around us. We must be smart to analyze potential alternative energy sources around us. Thank you.
Now I'm going to open the next session, that is question from the audience. For the first session, I'm going to give for the audience 2 questions. So please raise your hand and please say your name. Okay, please ma'am.
Thank you for your time. Why the renewable energy cannot enough to meet energy in Indonesia?
Can you repeat your question again? Sorry.
Why not enough the need energy in Indonesia?
Did you get the question? Yes. Please keep it in your mind the answer. Now for the next question, once again. Ma'am, say your name.
Okay, thanks for the time.
I will introduce myself. My name is Kemadis. Based on your group explanation, I want to ask, why do people more interested to use non-renewable energy? Okay, thanks.
Thank you so much. Now go back to Ma'am Lorika question. Ma'am Patty, please.
Okay, I will answer the question from Ma'am Lorika. Why the renewable energy cannot enough the needed energy in Indonesia? Because the renewable energy in Indonesia, we know we as society of Indonesia, we know that many renewable energy in Indonesia, but why cannot enough for the needed in Indonesia? Because the renewable energy still cannot optimize. We know we have many energy, but we not get the support from the government, and still many people still don't know about the renewable energy, and they don't know how to develop the renewable energy like that. Thank you.
Also, Lorika, is that good for you? Thank you. For the second question from M. Hadis, it is going to be explained by M. Sally.
Okay, we will answer the question from M. Hadis. If the people use renewable energy, it is the cheaper. If the people use non-renewable energy, there are 2 points. For the first is they need much money, and then that is the difficult to manage. And we'll explain with my Sally.
Okay, beside the answer from Melchiji said, the non-renewable energy is cheaper than renewable energy. That's why, because in the renewable energy have to manage and have difficult manage, and that beside difficult manage, renewable energy have need much money, and then need much knowledge to manage, and then need much energy to treatment the managing the renewable energy. For example, renewable energy are wind, and then water, and etc. Yeah. For wind, we don't know the capacity of the velocity of wind, and the total of the water maybe, and then the velocity of water. So difficult to treatment, so difficult to manage the renewable energy. It need more knowledge for people, and there is the connection with the human resource. Human resource, yeah. Okay. So there is the have connection with human resourcing. So human resource and the use the renewable energy is have to synergy. Like that for my answer.
Thank you. Now the next session, I'm going to give the audience 2 chance to give us question. Please raise your hand and say your name.
Assalamualaikum. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Indah, homeroom teacher from 6th grade. I want to ask, we know that beside being rich in natural resources, Indonesia also has a large population and sufficient human resources, but have not been able to maximize the development of these natural resources, especially about renewable energy. So my question is how to educate Indonesian people about renewable energy. Thank you.
Thank you. One more time. One question again. The last question from the audience. Okay, that's all. Sam Amil, and it's yours.
Okay. The answer. I will try to answer of the question. The answer is how the way to education the Indonesian people about renewable energy. The way is invite the Indonesian people to become creative and innovative people. If we look in education side, we can enter to the curriculum of education about to make simple product of renewable energy. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any question for the last time? If not, I'm going to close and also conclude this open public discussion. Okay, nothing. For the last chance, I'm going to call Ma'am Okta to explain us about the benefit and also the solution for the problem how to optimize the alternative energy. Ma'am Okta, time is yours.
Okay, thanks for the chance, Memufa. We know that energy is the main source for our life. As a fuel to conduct activities in daily life, when the energy is optimal, it will greatly impact the society in terms of effectivity and efficiency. The government supports its idea of optimizing alternative energy in every small region so that alternative energy could support independency of a region. That's all our solution about energy. I will give to Memufa again. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to say thank you for the speakers, thank you for the audiences. I'm sorry if I have any mistake, and I close this agenda. Let's reading Alhamdulillah together. Alhamdulillah.